Okay, first things first, we must admire the hair. You're welcome. Hello, darlings! So recently I have actually, for all of my chirpy demeanour right now, been feeling so incredibly drained. The fountain of my inspiration has just plummeted off a goddamn cliff, and I've been feeling really uninspired, uncreative, lack of motivation. I've just been kind of running on empty, and it's been really getting me down, I can't lie. Anyone who struggles with chronic perfectionism and anxiety and anything like that will probably understand, but even if you don't suffer with those things, you can probably relate to the feeling of just feeling completely out of control, and the things that you would normally go to feel a lot better just aren't necessarily working. So for me, it's been my hair recently. I have things that I want to do to it that I can't yet because I am waiting on growing out and repairing a bit of damage, and that has been really hard for me. I've never been able to not do things to my hair before, so that's been really frustrating me and really getting me down, and I've been in a tailspin being like, well, should I just cut it all off? Should I go Betty Boop and do a pixie cut and just get rid of the whole thing? And whilst yes, that would look really cute, I hope you would agree, I think that would look cute, it's actually not what I want to do. It's just a really frustrated response to not being able to do what I actually want, and I recognise that, so I've just been going back and forth and just been Why are you talking about your hair, Rianne? Also, first world problem. I know, but I'm using it as an example. Is that a spider? Unacceptable. Is that a spider? Is it? Ah! It is! Nope. 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 So I'm just using my hair as basically an example for what I'm talking about. That creative burnout. That feeling of just having no clue what you want to do and where you want to go next. So the first thing I want to say about this topic is that it is completely fine. Creativity and inspiration is not a consistent thing. It's really more of an ebb and flow, and you are going to go through phases where you're feeling stagnant, where you're feeling like you just can't come up with any ideas, whether you're a writer, an artist, a designer, any kind of creative. You're always going to go through periods where just nothing feels right and nothing is working for you, and that is totally fine and totally expected, and in all honesty really natural. We live in a society but really we do live in a very unprecedented age where we are expected to constantly be churning out more and more. If you're an artist, you have to be making content constantly, appease the algorithm, upload every day, and similarly for other creative pursuits, and it can be super duper pressurizing and very draining. So it's natural that every so often your body is just going to be like, whoa, and it's just going to give up. But I'm feeling in a positive mindset today, and I thought I would make a little video on some of the things that I do to try and help myself combat this creative burnout. So one thing that I actually do is take a step back from the thing that's stressing me out, and focus on other creative things. So if I'm trying to come up with an idea for a YouTube video and I just can't, and I'm trying to film and it's really stressing me out, I will just turn off the camera, walk away, and read a book, read a vintage magazine, play some Animal Crossing Wild World on my DSi, because I swear there is no better therapy in the world than that. Just take some time away, let your brain rest, let it recover, and give it some nice, gentle, and calming stimuli to get through the phase of horribleness. Another thing that I do is I surround myself with joy and things that I love. So in my room, which is a little bit messy, but it's nowhere near as bad as it was because I cleared all of my anxiety clutter off the floor, and I am so proud of that. But I have vintage posters on my walls. I have, as you can see, the giant Audrey Hepburn and the little posters there. I have vintage posters all over my walls. I keep my vintage hats in plain view. I have my makeup neatly arranged and my jewellery. I try and keep my wardrobe organised. I fill my room with my gorgeous pink and white LED lights that you might remember if you watched my Christmas video from a couple of years ago. I put them up at Christmas and I've just kept them up ever since because I love them. They make me so happy. I try and make my room a really personal and aesthetically pleasing space so that I have kind of a mothership to come back to, and I have things that can sort of gently nudge my creativity by reminding me of the things that I love. Similarly, on social media, I keep collections. I'm an obsessive collector of stuff on social media. I collect things I find inspiring. So my Pinterest is overloaded with loads of different collections, whether that is vintage adverts, whether that is beauty, whether that is hairstyles, fashion content, fashion pictures on Pinterest, vintage Barbie. I started a vintage Barbie Pinterest board the other day, and honestly it feels like it's almost completely revitalized my brain. Like, so much inspiration just from that one collection alone, you would not believe. And on TikTok and Instagram, I am a massive hoarder of anything that I see that I find myself really pulled in towards and transfixed by. I will save it so that I can come back to it later and it'll tickle the little happy portion of my brain stem and just make me feel a hell of a lot better. Being able to come back to things that have previously inspired you is really, really helpful because it can reignite those feelings. And also, if your sources of inspiration and your tastes change through time, it can actually be really helpful to see things that inspired you previously, and you can be like, okay, so I remember this thing sparked my creativity in this way, but now I see it more as a prompt to move towards this. So having things, even if maybe they become a little bit less close to your original tastes, is really, really helpful in my opinion. Obviously, when it comes to creativity and self-expression, your health and wellness actually plays a really huge part. I know everyone likes to play the whole suffering artist card and you should be able to create art out of anything, but Van Gogh actually created his beautiful sunflowers painting when he was in recovery for his mental illnesses, when he was feeling happy. So stuff that. Keeping yourself as well rested as you can, as nourished as you can, making sure that you are keeping up with your hygiene as much as you can. You know, clean yourself up, make yourself feel good, give yourself a treat, have a face mask, have a bubble bath, have a therapy session if you need one. Talk to people, talk to counsellors, talk to therapists, talk to your friends, talk to your partner, talk to your family, talk to your found family. Just keeping up the basic tenets of wellness is always, always, always going to free up more space in your brain for those lovely creative thoughts to flourish and be able to grow into genuine ideas and passions. I know when I'm going through a really, really rough time, so for example during 2020, start of 2021, during the pandemic, I was, not to get too personal, but I was in a hole and I found it so hard to come up with ideas for videos, but also making videos and creating things was kind of the only thing keeping me sane, so I was really stuck between a rock and a hard place. So trying to keep myself in the best possible mental state that I could so that I could create things that would make my mental state better was really, really, really important for me, and I think that is really important for you as well. even simple silly things like I got my nails done today, inspired by this 1960s advert. And how cute are these? Like, I'm so obsessed. And this has just really freshened up my creativity. So even something as simple as painting your nails, or trying on a different combination of outfits, or trying out a new hairstyle or a new makeup style, can just give you that little boost that you really need. A really important thing, in my opinion, is remembering why you're being creative in the first place. So when you started creating things, when you got into, say, making vintage YouTube videos, doing hairstyling, for example, for me, or doing makeup, or creating outfits, or singing, musical theatre and dance is a big one for me, or artistry, or VFX, or comic writing, or novel writing, or any creative pursuit that you have. When you started doing it, you didn't do it because you wanted it to be consumed by an audience. You did it because it brought you joy, because you loved it, and because you loved the way it made you feel, and because you loved the finished product. And that is so important to hold on to, especially in today's era of making everything and making all of your hobbies very consumable. It's really important to kind of get back to the basics sometimes and remember why you started doing things in the first place. Just styling fun outfits in the comfort of your room and not filming them, or creating a really cute hairstyle and not doing a tutorial on it, or not feeling like you have to share all of the secrets this time. Just doing it for the fun of it and doing it for you is really important, and getting yourself back to the basics of why you love what you love. Recently I went to see Postmodern Jukebox in Ipswich, and it was the best concert I've ever been to in my entire life. And the whole time I was just sat there, and I was like, I say sat, stood dancing, singing and screaming at the top of my lungs. And I was just stood there and I was like, I want to do this so badly. I want to sing, and I want to sing in my full vintage style, and I want to perform as me so badly. And it was such a nice experience because I love the local choir that I'm in, but we do a lot more classical stuff, which I really love. But having the opportunity to do more sort of swing and golden age and musical theatre-y, vintagey style stuff, which is arguably my absolute favourite style to perform in and feels so lovely for me. Having an experience where I see so many people doing that, and so many like-minded people really enjoying it, and bringing so many people so much joy, including the performers, which you could see and feel in the music and the performances. It was exactly what I needed. It was chicken soup for the soul, and really revitalized my love of performing and my ambition to put myself out there and perform more, and not be afraid to go up to establishments and be like, hi, I'm fabulous, I'm your new headline act. I'll probably phrase it a bit differently, but you know what I mean. I have backing tracks and a Bluetooth speaker and a hell of a voice, if I do say so myself. That made me cringe to big myself up so much. And I am worthy of sharing my talent, and so are you. So this video was a tiny bit all over the place, but it was one that I felt was really necessary, not only for possibly you to hear today, but also for me to make. I have actually a few fun ideas for content that I really want to film, and I'm really excited about. So I do hope that you will subscribe and join our little Vintage Darlings family if you liked this video, or anything about my personality, or even just my hair and my sparkly earrings, because honey, if there's one thing I have, it's nice hair and sparkly earrings fairly regularly. I have a lot of earrings in my ears, okay? You are not bereft of earrings. Please do remember that you can, of course, follow me on all of my social media for consumable art that I make, all about vintage fashion, hairstyling. Sometimes I try and do little funny things, but it's all really fun and I really enjoy making it. So you can follow me in any of the links down below, and you can also buy me a coffee if you really like my work that much. I would be very honoured and blessed and flattered. Please do remember to have courage and be kind, and may all of your dreams come true. And I will see you in my next video. My alarm went off. I have to go to a Eurovision party. Bye!